Okay, chronic relapse. I figured that this was probably a pretty appropriate video to make today because I relapsed recently, not on substances, but on pornography. I didn't even want to make a video today because I'm so ashamed and mad at myself. But I feel like I should do this. It was a rough day anyway, migraine crap again, but with that stuff too. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, chronic relapse. You know, I talked to my fair share of people that have relapsed quite... There it goes. Freaking washer again. Okay, sorry, dude. I can't concentrate because of it. I'm sorry, but I have to wait till it's done. I hear this thing in my sleep, and I think I'm hearing it all the time. Watch, you probably can't even hear it because it's in my head. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Okay, chronic relapse. Yeah, talked to a fair share of people, or a lot of people that have relapsed quite a few times. I was a chronic relapser. That's what I did. I mean, until you get clean, and if you're jumping all the time, then that's what it is. But the thing, if you're relapsing all the time, it means you're jumping a lot. It means that you're really trying to get clean a lot. I mean, if you're like, yeah, I've relapsed 7 times, 9 times, 13 times, 3 times, whatever it is, you're trying. That means that you've tried, that you have attempted to take that ultimate step, you know. But if you are someone that relapses a lot, it doesn't mean that you've abandoned the ultimate goal. It just means, yeah, you lost the battle, but you haven't lost the war. It's not over yet. If you give up, yeah, if you just give up, then absolutely, you know, absolutely. But it's a lost battle. You know, it doesn't mean that the ultimate goal is just out of reach. Okay. You know, and if, you know, we got to be honest with ourselves too, we can always reassess. Okay, I relapsed. Was I doing all the right things? Did you put yourself in a bad position? You know, I recently with the porn thing, I put myself in a bad position. I let my guard down in some ways. There you go. You know, that's just what it was. And so we got to ask ourselves, like, okay, did I cut all my ties? Did I, you know, put yourself in a bad position? Am I really doing all the right things? You know, maybe you've relapsed many times and you've never eaten right. You know what I mean? Like, you've just never eaten right, or you haven't really ever exercised doing it, or whatever. Like, sometimes if it just ain't getting done, you know, then a lot of times we gotta kind of, yeah, we gotta reassess and plan it a little differently. And maybe you're someone that is just, you're jumping all the time, you're sporadic, you get pumped up, you know, whatever. And I get it, and it's great. Some people do it, you know, they just get, you know, they watch a YouTube video or whatever, or they've been thinking about it, but they haven't really been planning it. They just are like, okay, I'm ready to go. You know, after making the decision a week ago or a few days before that or whatever. Maybe if you're someone like that you just kind of jump all the time, sporadically, and it just, you know, go a few days, 4 days, a week, or whatever it is, maybe you need to go, okay, I need to plan this out differently. Or plan it out in general. You know what I mean? So there's always things that we can look at and that we can improve. Okay. And hey, maybe you are someone that just, you're doing all the right things that you know of. You know, you're exercising, you're eating right, you're getting out, you're being active, you're doing everything. You think that, you know, it's like you're taking the supplements, whatever, and you relapse. You know, well, again, just because you're doing all the right things, again, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Doesn't mean that the goal is just out of reach and that you have abandoned the goal or anything. Like, you're not a failure. If you relapse, I have a video on that. Does relapse equal failure? No, not at all. It does not equal failure, dude. If you're constantly fighting and going at it, to me, that's not failure. It just isn't. It just is not, in my opinion. It's if you give up. That's where the failure is. Not that saying you are a failure, but the mission is a failure. You know. But maybe you are doing all the right things and you still relapse. Well, again, you know, maybe it could be a mindset thing. Maybe the pause kind of threw you for a loop. You thought you were kind of prepared for them, but you weren't prepared for I don't want to scare people because everyone's different, but maybe you weren't legit prepared for like a year. You know what I mean? Or 9 months. Like, just like legit, you're like, you kind of weren't going through too bad of stuff for a while and it just kind of sideswiped you or something. And then next time you can go, okay, that you just know what it's going to take. It's going to not be fun, but you know what it's going to take. That's huge, okay? Oh crap, I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, okay. Now, if you have relapsed, the best thing that you can do is get right back on track. That is period. The best thing that you can do. The longer you don't get back on track, the faster you're going backwards. And you go backwards fast, dude. It's just what it is with when we relapse. It always was like that for me. It was amazing how fast I could just get right back, how I could get right back into how much crap I was taking. It's like you get, because we do that to our bodies, you get tolerant to it way faster. It just is like boop. But yeah, you got to get right back on track if you can, or you can, but sometimes, like I said, we got to reassess things and all that. But the faster you get back on track and faster get on plan and make, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. Okay, in a week, in a couple days, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is, every situation's different. I understand that. But the longer we put it off again, and the longer we put it off in general, and then after relapsing, the longer we keep putting it off, the harder it's going to be. I looked at porn. Again, well, guess what? And I did it a couple times, a few times. That's the thing that's it just sucks. It really sucks. And guess what? I made things harder on me. And now it's going to be harder for me to kick that than it already freaking was, dude. Sucks, dude. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I understand. Like, just sucks, but I'm not giving up. And I still believe in my heart that, like, yeah, I'm going to kick it and I'll never do it again. This time around. That's what I freaking believe, dude. Because I believe that God will help me through it, and I need to trust in Him. It's always me kind of getting away, and that's another thing. Maybe you've never given God a chance, or maybe you never had a real honest relationship. Maybe you believe in God, but you never really pray and stuff, and you don't really have a relationship. That's always been a struggle of mine, is praying. That's always been my weakest point in my walk with God. Seriously, intellectual stuff, that's like my best, which is like the least of any. Intellectual stuff is absolutely last when it comes to serving God, the God of the Bible. That's just period. You can have all the intellectual stuff. I know people that they have the faith as a child, but their lives are completely changed, and they're just way more like, I'm just like, wow, it's amazing. They're way better Christians, good people, better people than me. I mean, it's truly amazing. And I'm good at reading scripture for the most part. I mean, really, not all the time though. I lack, and that's the thing, is I didn't read my Bible last night. It's just insane, dude. It's insane. But prayer has always been my weak point. But basically what I'm saying is, we know in our hearts, dude. And, if you don't believe in God and you struggle all the time, maybe give God a shot, but maybe you just don't believe in God and there's just nothing there. But if you really are someone that believes in God, God exists, God's real, you know what I mean, in your heart, and you haven't really gone all in, and you're relapse all the time, and you're struggling, that's obviously probably that is the utmost important thing that we got to kind of, look inside of ourselves and make those changes. Because God's hand is right out for you. He wants to help you. He wants to help me. We gotta let God help us, and that's freaking hard, dude. I suck at it. I'm a hypocrite. That's the thing. I can get up here and talk all the time, but I suck at it too. Man, I bet there's people watching this channel that are better at it. I didn't. It's amazing, and this is stuff I gotta learn. My sex drive is just a lot different since getting off opiates and Suboxone. I thought I had that beat, and I'm not even close, dude. I'm like. It's crazy, it's just something that, but again, I'm not giving up, gonna keep moving on and try not to be too sappy about it, but I do regret it, or so I tell myself now. That's the thing, is I do it and I regret it and I do it again, so whatever, right? It's kind of ridiculous, but anyway, yeah, for relapse, get back on track. Doesn't mean that you've abandoned the goal, doesn't mean you're a failure, okay, seriously, all right? And if you're chronically relapsing, you give a crap, okay? Darn it, you give a crap. I'm not drinking sparkling water for a couple days. I have a really sore throat, like a gnarly sore throat. And it kind of hurts drinking it, like the acidic stuff. So I'm just drinking water. God bless all y'all. Be for victory. Okay. God bless and salute.